Dark Guardian here with a self-defense video today. Today we're going to be covering some very basic things. Of course, the first thing in self-defense is awareness. See what's around you. Look around. Look people in the eyes. Have confidence when you're out there. You're less likely to get attacked. Now, first I want to talk about the stance. Now, a lot of people, right, something's going to happen, something goes down, they throw those hands up in those tight fists. What does that usually say to somebody? If there's an altercation, there's a situation, a fight, that says, ready, let's fight. I'm going to punch you, I'm going to hit you. What you want to do instead, to keep yourself safe, to de-escalate situations, is you open your hands like this. What I call this is a neutral stance. It's the same thing as a fighting stance, being ready to punch, hit, right? Now my hands are closed. It looks like I'm ready to fight. My hands are open. Looks like I'm trying to stop the fight. There's not much of a difference here. But this is going to help de-escalate situations, and it's still going to protect you and keep you ready. When you're in your stance, you're going to want your feet just one normal step and stride apart. All right? You should be comfortable. Your toes are just a little slight angle to cut off the center of your body. Okay? From here, there's a couple different things you can do. Of course, your hands are open already, and a great first strike would be a heel palm strike. Using the bottom heel of your palm right down here. Important is to keep those fingers together, thumb to the side. Some people curl your fingers down, which is fine. Some people keep it open, which is fine. Now, when you do this, make sure your thumb is tucked to the side, because if your thumb is out and you miss and accidentally gets caught on something, you're going to hurt your thumb. So make sure it's tucked to the side, and you're going to hit straight through with the bottom heel of your palm right there. Great place to do it, of course, is the chin, the nose. It's a great effective strike, and you're very less likely than when you would punch somebody to get hurt. You hit somebody here, it's made to take damage. When you trip and fall, you fall on your palms because it's naturally made that way, and it's a great strike that'll help you stay safe and help you from not getting injured. So the next strike I want to talk about is the eye gouge, eye strike. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread my fingers apart, right? I'm going to be able to use all four of these. You know, you watch the Three Stooges, see them do the two-finger poke. And if I see a martial arts artist teaching that, I already know they don't know what they're doing. You have to use those four fingers. One, why wouldn't you use all your weapons? They're all going to work and slip through. Now, important here is you don't lock those fingers straight. When those fingers are locked straight, that's when you're going to get them jammed. You have to keep them straight but loose and relaxed, because when it hits something, it has to be able to collapse. Because when one of your fingers hits the wrong place, you want it to be able to bend and not jam it up, break your finger, and hurt yourself. So you do is keep them loose and bent, but you got to keep them straight on. You keep them spread apart because any one of them can go through. All right, hold my hand up here. I can close my eyes and swing. It's going to slip through and hit no matter what. It's a great strike. It'll stop their vision for a second if you get in there good. Another strike I want to talk about, of course, is punching. Punching is important. You got to know how to punch properly. A lot of people do this stuff and throw big wild punches. You have to always hit with your big two knuckles up front. Those are the biggest and the strongest. They're made for punching. So whenever you punch, you have to make sure those big two knuckles are hitting. You hit with the little ones, you hit with these ones. You're not going to door with those. You don't punch with those. You got to hit with the big top two knuckles. Very important also is keeping that wrist locked straight. If that wrist is bent down, you're going to hit, you're going to injure your wrist. If it's up, you're hitting with the wrong part of your hand. You have to keep that wrist straight. Right? I trained a lot in boxing. Boxers are the best punchers in the world. Why wouldn't you want to punch like a boxer? So when we do our punches, you want to make sure to rotate that arm and fist right into it, hitting right down with those big two knuckles. Same thing off the backhand. Rotate and turn those punches. Your front hand is your jab punch. Your backhand is your cross punch. Now, in order to get power on your punches, you need to understand how to use your body. You have to be able to turn those hips into it. So when you do your punches, turn and rotate those hips into each punch. Turn and rotate those hips into each punch. Now, it's a little harder to see. I'm going to adjust it to show you. You need to get a pivot. So if you look closer down towards my feet, I want you to watch. I rotate and pivot on the ball of my feet every time I throw that punch. I pivot and rotate on the ball of the feet. What that does, that gets all the power from your feet up through your body into your punch. Now, when you have all that happening, you're rotating your foot, you're turning your hips, you're going to get a good power punch. But it takes a lot of practice. Another common mistake is popping that elbow up and throwing it. You're only throwing your arm at that point. My elbows are tight in. My hands are protecting my face. My elbows protect my body. And I rotate that hip, I turn, pivot on my foot, rotate, stick that good punch. Rotate, boom, turn right into it. And now you got some good punches. So these are some just real basics. That's all I'm covering today. I'd like to get into some more advanced stuff. I'd like to get into some different self-defense scenarios, even maybe get into knife attacks one day, because I see so much garbage being taught out there. Somebody needs to show the right thing. Well, thanks for listening today, guys. I hope you learned a little something. If you trained before, this is all basics, all right? But you got to start with the basics always, because they're the most important things. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a good time listening. I'll see you soon.